Forgiveness, something that is often the most difficult thing to achieve. How do we forgive somebody or a situation that did us harm and affected us mentally or traumatized us in the past? Understandably, it is very difficult for many of us to fully forgive a person or a situation that has caused us trauma. But today, I want to offer you a story of an incredible man who did an incredible act. In 1974, Chris Carrier was just 10 years old. He was abducted from his home in Florida, taken into the swamps, and he was stabbed repeatedly in the chest and abdomen with an ice pick, later to be shot in the head and left for dead. Remarkably though, hours later, Chris woke up with a headache. He was blind in his left eye, and he made his way in absolute agony to the nearest highway, where he flagged down a car and was then taken to hospital. But the most staggering thing about this story is that years later, a police officer contacted Chris to tell him that the man suspected of his abduction and near murder was in hospital and on his deathbed. The officer then suggested that Chris go to visit this attacker and confront him. So Chris did just that. But the remarkable and absolutely incredible story is that Chris didn't only confront his attacker, but gave his attacker his forgiveness. He opened up to his attacker and allowed his attacker to open up again to him. And they left the situation at peace, resolving the situation as calmly and peacefully as possible. Chris found peace in that situation. He felt that the situation had finally been laid to rest, and that gave him closure on his attack that had left him completely blind in his left eye and almost killed him. So what can we learn about this situation, and what can we take from Chris Carrier's amazing story? Well, no matter what happens in life, the only person that hatred or grudges affect is you. If somebody has done something wrong to you in the past and you hold a grudge, every time you think of that person, be aware of the feelings and emotions that come with that thought. Now ask yourself, if you forgave that person, now this doesn't necessarily have to benefit the person in question, but for your own clarity, your own closure and peace of mind, would forgiving that person, forgiving the situation and letting it go, would that benefit you more than holding a grudge? Take a thought for a few moments and just think, would forgiveness be my way out of the pain and torment of the very thoughts of the person or situation involved? I think it's a valuable lesson for us all to learn how to forgive and truly let go of past events and situations. We all do horrible things at some point in our lives, whether we see it as horrible or not. Other people may look at it very differently. And although I cannot excuse any horrific acts such as Chris Carrier's attacker, the point is that we all do things that we're not proud of, and although they may not always be justifiable, we always have our reasons for some reason or another for doing what we do. And it's important for us within ourselves to let go of that situation and that person so that we're not holding around and carrying negative attachments to these people, situations and events that could cause more harm in the future. I really hope that this story of Chris Carrier has helped you in some way today. It absolutely touched my soul when I came across this story of Chris Carrier's ultimate forgiveness for his attacker, and I couldn't be more speechless reading through the events that happened and looking at the police reports and the news reports of what actually happened to Chris when he was just 10 years old. And I think the fact that he found it within himself to make peace and get that closure for himself and for his attacker, to give that forgiveness and show that ultimate compassion That was such a touching thing to read, and I think we can all take a valuable lesson from that. If you did enjoy this video though, and you were touched by this story today, then please give the video a thumbs up and share it out so we can reach more people with these messages. Because imagine if we live in a world full of forgiveness, where we renounce our hatred and grudges for other people. Imagine the changes that we could make worldwide with these kinds of things. So that is it from me, but I will see you in another video.